What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I am. And if you are having a fantastic day, trust me, your day is about to get a whole lot better because I have a story time for you guys that I know you guys are going to enjoy. This is a story that takes place at the skate park, which I know you guys love, and it's about a kid who really thought he was pulling up and being gangster, getting absolutely riggedy wrecked. So, yeah, it should be pretty entertaining. So without further ado, let's get into it. And if you could go ahead and press the like button for me, I would really appreciate it. That's all I'm saying, all right? Like, you don't have to, but if you don't, do you see this puppy on the screen? Okay, you see this puppy? Every time you press the like button, he gets a piece of food. And every time you don't, well, you're basically saying that you want to shoot the puppy into space, okay? But, like, I'm not making the rules. I'm just saying, like, you look at the puppy and make your choice, you know? But, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm a star, baby. I've been rolling, I've been geeking off the line, baby. If I said I'm not alive. Anyways, what's up? I'm sorry for holding the puppy hostage, okay? It's been a while since I've begged for likes, so I just decided to do it today to switch things up. But, yeah, I have a story today about a wannabe gangster that just got absolutely schmack crackled and popped at the skate park, and I'm thinking that you guys are gonna enjoy it. One thing that you gotta know about skate parks in general and, like, just general skating culture is most people don't want to fight you, okay? Like, this idea that all skaters are violent punk kids that are trying to get into trouble really just isn't true. For the most part, especially at least, like, the skate parks that I grew up hanging out at, like, yeah, there were some crazy kids, and obviously there were some problems, but, like, for the most part, everybody just left you alone if you left them alone, you know? And that was kind of the unspoken rule. Like, if somebody didn't want to get messed with and it was obvious, then you didn't mess with them. But there were some kids that, like, thought that, they could come flex at the skate park and get up in everybody's face and just look cool, because most of the skaters were, for the most part, laid back. Oh my god, I need to stop saying for the most part. Laid back and wouldn't fight back, you know? Like, they didn't really want any trouble. And there was this kid who would come to the skate park a lot, and I'm gonna call him, let me think of a good name for him. We're gonna name him Alfredo, like the chicken. I'm pretty hungry, and I actually just Postmated some chicken Alfredo from Olive Garden, so I'm feeling hyped, so after this, I'm gonna enjoy that. So his name's gonna be Alfredo for today's video. And Alfredo, well, he was somebody who thought he was quite the gangster, you know? Like, he sagged his pants, which I've never really understood. Like, listen, if you're from a suburb where there's no crime, the first thing you do when trying to be gangster should not be pulling down your pants. Like, I understand that people in gangs used to do that, like that used to be like a street thing for sagging, but when you're trying to become a gangster and you're not, one of the first things you should do is, like, get tough or learn how to fight or, some of the stuff that gang members actually do other than just sag their pants. But this Alfredo kid would, like, come to the park with his pants sagged and just talk crap to everybody. He thought he was such a gangster and, like, he was super cool and how he was just the hardest kid on the street and no one could mess with him. And nobody did mess with him. And you're probably thinking, Ryan, why is that, Like, it seems a little bit bizarre that you guys are talking about how annoying he is in the story, but nobody ever told him to stop when he was, like, punking everybody. And the reason that nobody ever messed with little Alfredo is Alfredo had an older brother who rode BMX bikes who, I don't know how he even rode a bike because literally, physically, this dude should not have been able to walk. This man was a gigantic freak of nature. And I don't say freak in like a mean, oh my gosh, he should have been in a freak show way. I say it in the same way, like when an NFL athlete does a front flip over another 6'5" man, you're like, oh my god, that's like just a freak of nature. Like, it's so incredible. And Alfredo's brother was a tank of a human being, and he made it very clear that anyone who messes with his brother messed with him. So his brother basically had free reign at the skate park. Like, Alfredo would be running around like, ha, you're stupid, I could beat you up in a fight, to guys like 3 times his size, and nobody would do anything because we didn't want to fight the absolute mammoth of his brother. His brother was like, to describe him, maybe 6'6", like a giant dude and stocky. Like, we lived in Las Vegas, we didn't have farms, but just looked like he grew up punching baby cows in the face and putting them to sleep, and then carrying them 6 miles for fun because Ellen DeGeneres told him to. Like, just built like an absolute monster. And so nobody really messed with Alfredo. And Alfredo, I don't think, kind of put 2 and 2 together that his brother had, like, protected him, which is insane to me that it wasn't obvious. But, like, to everybody else in the universe, it was obvious what was going on. But Alfredo genuinely thought that people were terrified of him. And his brother was, like, quite a bit older, you know? And eventually, after some time, after a couple months, maybe a year, I don't know, his older brother goes off to college. He was a big dude, but he finally grew up. He graduates high school, he goes off to college, and suddenly he's not at the skate park. But the only thing is, nobody told Alfredo that he couldn't keep acting the way that he had been acting before when he didn't have, like, his gigantuan Shrek-sized bodyguard ensuring his safety no matter what. Like, when you lose the 600-pound titan that was defending you and you keep acting like you do when you are not a 600-pound titan, then I don't know what to tell you. And, like, I don't know if his half-brother was Alfredo or what, but Alfredo definitely did not get the same genes as his brother because he wouldn't even have fit into this dude's genes. Alfredo was probably about the size of like an Italian toothpick. I don't know if they're bigger or smaller than normal toothpicks, but a toothpick is still pretty small, so I'm gonna go with the Italian kind. And regardless, the skate park had just become really fed up with him, and we had put up with him for a long time, and one day there's a new guy at the skate park who you can just tell is not in the mood to be messed with, you know? He's like, nobody knows who he is, but he just has the appearance of a scary man. He's bald, but he's young, and bald young people are terrifying because it's like, whoa, you are choosing to do that to your hair, and anybody who's choosing to be bald, like, damn, you are just tough. Like what? People going through chemotherapy, which are already tough as hell because screw cancer. Like, cancer sucks, so they're tough, and, like, people who want to eat nails for breakfast. Those are the only 2 type of bald young people, and both of them you don't want to mess with, you know? So, like, when you see a bald dude at the skate park, you just kind of stay out of his way. And he was new and nobody knew who he was, but everybody else was being pretty chill with him and trying to just stay out of his way and be friendly. And I had rolled by him a little bit and, like, done not even, like, a cool trick. I think I had, like, ollied onto a box and then just, like, ridden off. And he was like, just, you know, gave me a head nod. So he wasn't even mean. Like, it wasn't like he was a mean dude. You could just tell that he was not somebody that you wanted to mess with. His threshold for BS was not very high. But Alfredo, being the gangster that he was standing talking to, like, a bunch of the other people who were there pretty frequently. And he's like, yo, he's new, right? And we were all like, yeah. And he's like, well, you know, since my brother's not here, we have to control this turf. And I think that if he's new, he should pay to skate here. And we're all kind of like, what? It's a public park. What do you mean? Like, the skate park is open to anybody who wants to skate. He's like, yeah, well, I think it's time that, like, people start needing some protection around here. And we're like, no, I think that's kind of weird, dude. It's a free skate park, you know? Not to mention that dude's way bigger than you, and, like, I wouldn't mess with him, you know? Like, and it's a public park. Nobody supported this guy's idea to suddenly start having, like, a skate park mafia that was extorting money from people. Like, nobody wanted to do that, but this guy thought that he was a gangster, you know? He genuinely thought that he was really about to start owning the skate park like a thug. So he walks up to this dude like 3 times his size, and we're like kind of far away, but we can hear it. And what we hear is him basically saying that it's gonna cost him $25 to skate here because if not, he can't assure his safety or whatever. And the big dude, like, looks at him and takes out his headphones and says, what did you just say? And he's like, yeah, you owe me money. He's like, you want me to pay to skate here? And he's Alfredo's like, yeah. And the big guy pushes him and goes, or what? And Alfredo kind of, like, looks around and realizes that no one has ever asked him that question before. Everybody in the skate park has always just been like, yeah, Alfredo, whatever. Like, no one's ever paid him. He's never tried to extort any of us. But, like, you know, hey, can you move? Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because we were all afraid of his brother. But here's this big dude who probably wouldn't even be afraid of his brother. And he's bald. I don't know why I'm, like, trying to make that such a character trait. It really doesn't matter. Like, I promise if you're watching this and you're bald, I'm not judging you at all. Like, I really do not care. It's just such a funny trait. Like, that the guy was bald and he could have had hair. Also, my dad's bald and I'm kind of terrified of going bald. So, like, you know, sometimes I just got to make jokes about it to make myself sleep better at night. Because one day it's going to happen. Anyways, Alfredo is sitting there looking slack-jawed like a fish on deck when, like, he realizes that he's being stood up to for the first time. So, he kind of is like, or there'll be problems. And he's like, okay, what's the problem? Like, what? what are you gonna do if I don't pay you? And Alfredo is just standing there, and he pushes him again. He's like, what are you gonna do if I don't pay you? And Alfredo looks around and is like, man, I run this park. And he's like, oh, you do? You do? And he pushes him again. And Alfredo was like, stop pushing me. But he like voice cracks when he says it, dude. It's the funniest thing. Like, this wannabe gangster who walked up and was trying to extort money out of a grown man is now getting pushed and is like, I run this place. You know, just sounding real confident in himself. Yeah, man, you tell him. You sound like you're in charge of here. Everybody takes orders from you. You sound like the broken squeaky toy from Toy Story out here. Regardless, you know, he's like getting punked, and he finally, you know, is like, well, I don't need this, man. Like, I'll get out of here, dude. I don't need to take crap from you. He's like, yeah, get out of here, man. Like, no one's afraid of you. Like, get out of here. It's not your skate park anyways. So Alfredo is like leaving, you know, and he's got his fist balled, and he's like, oh man, and he comes over to us and he's grabbing all his stuff. He's like, I'm out of here, dude. I don't need to take this crap. Like, I've got better stuff to do. And we're like, yeah, nah, for sure, dude. Like, yeah, you got better stuff to do. Like, we're trying not to embarrass him or make him feel bad, because we have known him for a while, and like, yeah, he's a character, dude. He's a clown, and we know he's a clown, but like, he's the skate park's clown, and it's like, yeah, he got punked. So on the way out, though, for whatever reason, he decides to go back past the bald dude and like provoke him some more. And I don't know what he says. I don't know what he said to him. I don't know if it was worth what happened. I don't know any of that, okay? All I know is that he walked up to the bald dude again, said something that apparently was quite offensive, because all we see next is Alfredo on the ground and the bald dude just like wailing on him. So we go over there and we break it up, because like, we don't want fights at the skate park, because if there's too many fights at the skate park, they just shut it down for the day. So we're like, whoa, we don't want to fight. So we break it up, and Alfredo gets up and he's like, hold me back. And we're like, yeah, sure, we're gonna hold you back. This guy just got embarrassed, but we're gonna hold you back, sure. And the guy's like, don't you ever say anything like that again. And we're like, Alfredo, what did you say? He's like, nothing, I didn't say nothing. He's like, no, go ahead, tell your friends what you said. He's like, I didn't say nothing. He goes, no, tell them. No, I just said I was going to find out where his mom lived, and I was going to go see her. And we're like, you did what? You threatened this guy's mom? And he's like, well, I wasn't like actually, like, I just wanted to scare him. And he's like, dude, what did you expect to happen? He's like, well, you didn't need to hit me. And everybody at that point like flips sides. We're like, dude, you can't threaten to go to somebody's mom's house and like pull up on their mom and expect them to just calmly sit there and do nothing about it. Like, I'm sorry, Alfredo, what did you think? He's like, I don't know, I had just like heard people say it before, so I thought it was like a good thing. And we're like, yeah, well, generally, when you've already lost the fight once and been punked, the best thing to do is not threaten their mom, all right? Like, do you understand why that's dumb? And he's like, yeah, but, you know, you didn't need to fight me. And the bald dude is like, you need to stop acting like you run the streets and like you know anything about it, because you don't know anything. Like, you're an idiot, and you're just going to embarrass yourself and get yourself hurt. Like, it's ridiculous. And, you know, Alfredo is like, nah, man, like, I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. Like, I've grown up on the streets. He's like, no, you clearly haven't. Like, you really clearly have not grown up on the streets, because you just got beat up really easily. And Alfredo is like, nah, man, nah. And the bald guy's like, well, if you don't want to stop pretending to be gangster, then leave and never come back to the skate park, because I just moved into that apartment complex over there, and I'm going to be here every day. And every day you want to pretend to be gangster, we're going to have a problem. Do you understand? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he takes all of his stuff and left. And everybody was just kind of sitting there. And, you know, nobody was like pro bald guy, because he did just beat up like some kid that was threatening him, you know. But at the same time, like, hitting kids isn't okay, but like threatening to go to somebody's mom's house and beat them up is also not okay. So like, it's really not an ideal situation either way. I'm sorry for those Discord notifications. But yeah, Alfredo, whenever he did come back to the skate park, acted very, very differently. And just in general, like whenever people would see him or talk about him, they said he changed a lot after that. So regardless of whether or not, you know, beating up kids at the skate park is good, it did change Alfredo. So in this one particular instance, it's okay. But if you are an adult, please don't go to skate parks and fight children, because that's just weird. That's not cool. That's not a fight club, okay? That's a felony. But yeah, on that note, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did and you like me, follow me on Instagram at Scrubby, Twitter at Scrubby_69. I'd appreciate it. press the like button, comment down below, all that good stuff that normal YouTubers beg you for. But yeah, if you like the intro song, a link will be down below in the description. Feel free to go check it out. And other than that, get yourself some of the OG Sub Club merch. Time is running out, ladies and gentlemen. The second channel, I'm promising you, the grind is going to be coming soon. You just got to trust me on that, okay? I promise it's coming. I'm telling you, in the next couple days, you're going to realize that I'm going to be back on it. So I would get it while you still can. And other than that, use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout for a quick discount. But yeah, I'm going to go vibe and do what I'm going to do. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I will see all of you guys next time with another video. Have an absolutely fantastic day. I know that I'm going to. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.